I don't really think there is much of a difference of what the colonialists did in the country. We became more reserved, I would say so. And it tended to lie on a single side where if, for instance, now we have neighborhoods, rich neighborhoods like Mudaiga, if you've been there, Runda, you look at the planning there and the housing there, I think it's more of the same as what the so-called governors of the white men lived when they were running the country. They used to call them governors, if you are aware. The Queen installed a governor who had commanders, I don't know, superintendents, and so on and so forth. If you flash, if you read the history a bit, some of these people and the bigwigs who ruled the country through the Queen lived in these neighborhoods in the same kind of structure. There's never been change in the planning of infrastructure in Kenya after independence. I think it was more of there was already a class that was close to those who were pushing for independence, so the Kenyatta and his lot. So it was more like redistribution of the same class to move in quickly to those places that the colonialists settled in. We talk of the farms, we talk of the ranches. That is now agriculture generally, and it has never changed. The mode of agriculture, because if you look at some of the agricultural practices that are really doing well in Kenya, Kakuzi, for instance, it's really a big agricultural company. It accounts for a bigger percentage of agricultural items being exported or consumed outside the country. And looking at the normal agriculture setup in Kenya, and it's a discussion, you find that not many of the regular farmers, the input is failed. But then those ranches and farms that were run by the colonialists, it seems that there was more like a replacement. They left, but then it's like they still have a hand in it.
We had new lords in town.
Exactly. You look at a farm like a Kuzi farm in Muranga, I think it owns around 10,000, 100,000 acres of farmland. It's still controlled by some British nationals. And you look at Kiambu, the plantations there, certain companies, which I don't want to mention their name. I do believe that after independence, Kenya, I think
we more remained
the same. There was a reservation.
For instance, I've gotten an opportunity to watch at some episode of Kwame Nkrumah's kids having to move to Kenya after he was overthrown and being housed by the Kenyattas. Was it Kenyattas? Yeah, Kenyattas.
The Ghanaian Kwame.
The Ghanaian Kwame. When he was overthrown, his family mysteriously ended up in Kenya.
But why Kenya?
They happened to be allies.
Kenyatta, so they skipped Nigeria.
They skipped Nigeria. They ran all the way to Kenya. From what I drew from that video, from that recording, one of his sons was being interviewed.